Never buy these 10 products from China. They trigger severe diseases. Never underestimate how seemingly harmless items on the supermarket shelf can hide alarming threats to your health, especially when they come from certain sources. Today, you'll discover 10 products from China that may look entirely innocent, but can unleash severe diseases faster than you ever imagined. From hidden pesticides and heavy metals to synthetic chemicals that disrupt your body's balance, these products aren't just anecdotes. They've been linked to real medical cases. Keep watching to learn why these products are so risky, how they might harm you or your loved ones, and what alternatives you can choose to stay safe and healthy. Let's begin by drawing attention to something many of us enjoy daily: tea. There's a comforting ritual in sipping a warm cup after a long day, but when that tea hails from China and is sold at suspiciously low prices, you might be bringing dangerous pesticides and heavy metals into your home. Studies have found that certain Chinese tea brands contain substances like decafol, banned in various countries, and elevated levels of lead. Over time, these toxins can accumulate in your liver and kidneys, leading to fatigue, migraines, and organ damage. One patient in Chicago, who drank cheap tea for years, ended up with lid poisoning. If you still want your daily brew, consider tea from countries like Japan, India, or Sri Lanka. Or look for trusted organic labels that verify the product is free from harmful chemicals. It's also wise to choose loose leaves over bags, as they tend to be higher quality. If a box of tea is extremely cheap and lacks clear certifications, it's probably best to steer clear. Now let's turn to dried fruits, which often appear vibrant and delicious, yet might contain a toxic load of chemicals. Some Chinese dried fruits owe their artificial shine to sulfur dioxide, a substance used to preserve color and extend shelf life. While that color might impress you, sulfur dioxide can be a nightmare for people with asthma or other sensitivities, triggering coughs, headaches, or even severe allergic reactions. In Boston, doctors treated a woman who had difficulty breathing and severe abdominal pain after eating dried peaches from a discount shop. Tests confirmed high levels of sulfur dioxide. When you're shopping for dried fruits, beware of those unnaturally bright hues. It's safer to pick organic or from regions like Turkey or the United States, which enforce stricter regulations. And if you end up with suspicious dried fruit at home, a thorough rinse or a soak in warm water can at least reduce some chemicals before you eat. Moving along, there's something else that's easy to overlook: honey. For many, honey symbolizes purity and natural sweetness. But Chinese honey has been caught mixing cheaper sweeteners like corn syrup and even chemical flavorings to disguise its true origin. Worse yet, investigations have found banned antibiotics, such as chloramphenicol, and heavy metals, including lead, in certain batches. The result can be anemia, neurological damage, or long-term organ stress. One man in Minnesota, who faithfully consumed Chinese honey every day, ended up with chronic lead exposure that took months to detoxify. If you value the potential health benefits of real honey, try sourcing from local farmers or brands that carry quality seals like True Source Honey. A quick test at home. Drop some honey into the water. If it dissolves too quickly or leaves strange sediments, it's probably not the real deal. Continuing, let's highlight a popular staple worldwide: olive oil. Although genuine extra virgin olive oil can boost your heart health and offer antioxidant benefits, Chinese manufactured olive oil sometimes includes undisclosed mixtures of cheaper oils like soybean or canola. Not only does that undermine the flavor, but it can introduce harmful solvents that remain in the final product. Those chemicals can stress the liver, potentially leading to fatty liver disease, inflammation, and even cirrhosis if consumed habitually. One New Yorker ended up with toxic hepatitis after frequently using discounted extra virgin olive oil traced back to China. Stick to bottles labeled with country-specific certifications. Spain, Italy, or Greece often have rigorous standards. And pay attention to color, aroma, and taste. True olive oil usually has a distinct, rich flavor, and the extra virgin variety tends to lean greenish or golden. Now let's discuss canned goods. Many of us rely on the convenience of a quick meal from a can, whether it's tuna, vegetables, or fruit. But with Chinese canned products, you run the risk of exposure to bisphenol A, BPA, in the can's lining. Along with high levels of preservatives and sodium, BPA has been linked to hormone imbalances and an elevated risk of prostate or breast cancer. Sodium overload puts your blood pressure on a dangerous path. A man in Chicago ended up with severe hypertension and hormonal issues that doctors traced back to his frequent consumption of Chinese canned vegetables. If you appreciate the shelf stability of canned foods, look for BPA-free labels and examine sodium levels, or opt for brands from countries with stricter regulations like the U.S. or Canada. Fresh or frozen produce can also be a simpler, healthier alternative when you have the time to cook. Heading into the realm of everyday kitchen essentials, garlic is a favorite for adding flavor and health benefits. But if it originates from China, bleaching agents such as sulfur dioxide might have been used to keep its outer appearance bright white. This chemical can inflame your respiratory tract, leading to persistent coughing or allergic reactions. In San Diego, doctors treated a patient for chronic throat irritation and recurring stomach pain, only to discover his daily garlic use was the culprit. Switching to locally grown garlic, yes, that sometimes less than perfectly shaped bulb, can be a game changer for your health. If you suspect chemical-treated garlic, trust your nose. An overly sharp or chemical-like scent is a red flag that it might have been bleached. Now let's shift our attention to one of the world's most consumed grains, rice. It's a staple in countless dishes, yet some Chinese rice is laden with cadmium from contaminated soil, a heavy metal that accumulates through industrial pollution. Regularly ingesting cadmium can wreck your kidneys, weaken your bones, and elevate cancer risks. A 51-year-old man in Boston found this out the hard way after relying on super cheap rice from Chinese stores. Over time, his cadmium levels soared beyond safe limits. For a safer choice, consider rice from nations like India, Japan, or Thailand, or look for organic options that are less likely to harbor chemical fertilizers and industrial pollutants. Rinsing and soaking the rice can help remove some surface contaminants, though it won't fix the problem if cadmium has deeply penetrated the grain. Continuing with a crowd-favorite source of protein, seafood offers delicacies such as shrimp, salmon, and tilapia. But in China, many fish and shrimp farms operate in polluted waters or rely on cocktails of antibiotics, hormones, and other substances to hasten growth. Mercury, lead, and banned antibiotics like chloramphenicol have surfaced in imported Chinese seafood, leading to organ toxicity and neurological issues. One woman in Los Angeles endured mercury poisoning after regularly eating Chinese farmed shrimp she found at a discount. If you're a seafood lover, verify the product's origin. Go for reputable labels like ASC, Aquaculture Stewardship Council, or choose wild-caught options from places with strict environmental standards, such as Norway or Canada. Another item that especially demands caution is baby formula. Nothing is more precious than an infant's nutrition, yet a heartbreaking scandal in 2008 revealed melamine-laced infant milk powder from China that harmed hundreds of thousands of children. Melamine can cause kidney stones, urinary blockages, and possibly fatal kidney failure in infants. In New York, an 8-month-old suffered such severe kidney damage from Chinese formula that some of the harm was irreversible. Steer clear of suspiciously cheap or unverified formulas. Rely on reputable brands that comply with international regulations. Or consider organic sources. Breastfeeding, when possible, remains the safest bet, but for those who require formula, thorough research and consulting your pediatrician is vital. And that leads us to a final warning. Chinese dairy products in general, milk, cheese, and yogurt from unreliable sources can harbor more than just melamine. You might encounter antibiotics, growth hormones, or harmful bacteria. One child in San Francisco nearly lost kidney function after regularly consuming imported Chinese milk. If you're seeking safe dairy, consider regions with strong quality standards such as New Zealand, Switzerland, or Canada, or choose verified organic labels. Local farmers who focus on freshness often provide an even more trustworthy option. The key is to recognize that a cheap carton of milk or an unfamiliar dairy brand might come with a hidden cost that's paid by your health. With all of these real-life examples in mind, it's clear that what may appear to be a bargain can quickly turn into a health crisis. Don't let unknown toxins sneak their way into your daily diet. Read labels carefully. Investigate where your products come from. And if something seems suspiciously cheap, there's probably a reason. A little extra vigilance today can spare you or your loved ones from serious ailments later on. Don't forget to share this with your loved ones on WhatsApp. Stay safe.